Perception is strong and sight weak. In strategy, it is important to see distant things as if they were close and to take a distanced view of close things. Miyamoto Musashi. That, my friends, is a quote that takes some unpacking, but it is a great quote for us to use as traders. Perception is strong and sight weak. Now, that means to me that we as traders should really pay attention to what we gain as we practice trade and as we get more and more adept to being able to use our perception to help us overcome our weaknesses such as sight. And how is sight weak? Well, it's emotionalized. It's the kind of thing that can pull you into exactly the wrong move. And in strategy, we have to see distant things as if they were close and take a distanced view of close things. That is, don't jump out of the box the minute you see the market on a short chart moving against you. Continue to rely on what? The distanced view. Again, as if it were close, because it's showing you the real pattern. It's showing you where the real market is going. As we say, all things being equal, the market tends to move in the direction of what? The largest chart. So let's look at where we are today, because we do see a pullback on the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ 100. 1.39% on the S&P. And it happened when? At the end of the day, we got a big red spinning top here in the bottom third, where we break down what's going on the half-day chart. Still well above the trend line on the 2-day and the half-day and the weekly itself. We see where the high was last week, 473.73. This week, 475.90. We will pay attention to what happened at the end of the day and all that volume. And of course, as we look at the 2-day chart, this is the Tuesday, Wednesday. As we look at it, we can see the candle has gotten smaller. It's reached a higher high, and we'll pay close attention to how we move forward in this case. Now, let's go on to the Qs. It's pulled back even more, 1.49%. It all happened also at the end of the day, still well above the weekly trend line on both the 2-day and the half-day and the weekly itself. And of course, we have reached a higher high this week. Volume here on Wednesday, it looks like it's about halfway. We'll see how it finishes the week off. Now, again, we're not looking for a lot of volume Christmas week. Because why? Well, it's the week right here before Christmas. So people are heading out. They're putting the caretakers in charge as market makers. You know, you're just slowing things down. Expect the volume to decrease. But this craziness at the end of the day is interesting. We'll watch how that plays out tomorrow. Let's take a look at 20-year U.S. government bonds, up 0.68%. Last week, the high was 99.35. This week, the high 99.69. So we have reached a higher high. Don't have much of a wick on top of that candle. And again, up 0.68% for the day. That 2-day chart, smaller candle, but again, reaching a higher high. Look how much the volume has just burned off after we had that really high volume on the Wednesday, Thursday candle of last week, 13th and 14th. Now, as we look at the half day, you can see where things bumped up on Thursday and Friday of last week, and then Monday a down day, and then started trying to build on Tuesday and Wednesday. So we will keep an eye on bonds, see how much longer they're going to go. Again, don't see any point right here that, might be, we've got a little bit higher to go. This is where the things, sort of spun around topping last time before they dropped, but we still have our purple band up here, which has been hit several times and bounced off of. It'd be great to see us go all the way back to that 109.20, wouldn't it? Seeing as how we're at 99 right now, that could be beautiful. Let's go to gold. Where is gold? Gold down a little bit for the day, pulling back in the morning, further in the afternoon. Of course, we found this spot where gold has bounced off of before, pushed a little higher this last time, not the candle, but the wick. and see if we're going to get up to there before gold reverts over again. So we will keep an eye on things. They have a green candle for the week. We're not in this right now because we had this sloppy area. Then the spinning top last week after we busted our weekly trend line, we hoped would go up further. And then, of course, market trying to get some support under gold. So we'll wait, watch, and see. Hey, what's up with Bitcoin? Bitcoin pulling it up a little bit for the day, 1.60%. And we see where most of that movement was in the morning, staving off a little bit of that in the afternoon. How did the two-day chart end up the last 2 days? We see where this Tuesday, Wednesday chart, we've got a spinning top, a little bit of move at the bottom, most of it at the top after 6 days of sideways sliding down some after we saw all that volume popping up. And then we just saw all that volume when it just sort of moved over. So we'll keep an eye on Bitcoin and see. Hasn't reached the highs that it reached back at the 41.05. We haven't seen that in the last couple of weeks. So we will keep an eye on things and see if Bitcoin, like we've seen in the past, where it peaks up, slide sideways, and then we start seeing red candles. Haven't seen any red yet. That is where we are. By the way, Patreon members, recorded and posted last night for you, charting cryptos, commodities, and currencies. That'll be released to everybody else on Friday, and 3-wave trades. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.